Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of English with Sarvi. Well, in this episode we're going to talk about the best way to start the second semester of the year at school. Well, usually after winter holiday, when the students come back to school, it's a little bit hard to keep them motivated, especially if they are middle schoolers. And like in general, working with teenagers is a little bit harder, as you know, because of that special phase that they're usually in, especially like 7th graders, 8th graders. They're searching for their own identity, like what they want to do with their lives and all. And at some point, because of a lot of different thoughts, different forms of anxiety that they face every single day, they kind of lose all the motivation that they have. They kind of lose all the hopes. They get lost in between thoughts. And even if you ask them, like, what do you want to do in future with your life? They will be like, in order not to get that, what I did was to talk about my personal agenda. I tried to break it down for myself. I was like, okay, what is your agenda, Sarvi? Maybe if you give them a tangible example of what you want to change in your own lessons for the second semester, then they will feel the same and they will start with baby steps, like going to the class and be like, okay, what do you want to do with your future? That is just going to bring a lot of anxiety, and like that question itself will be the heaviest burden on your teenagers' shoulders. They don't know what to do with it. So let's just break it down to, all right guys, do you know what my agenda is for the next semester? And they will be like, they will think. Most probably in the beginning you will not receive any answer. So I just wrote down agenda second semester on the board, and then I was like, okay, this is Sarvi. Like, what is Sarvi's agenda? Then I wrote homework at the bottom of it. Then I was like, okay, am I going to give more homework to my students? And then they were like, no. And then I said, okay, yes, it is related to homework. I broke it down for them. I said that, okay, we got two kinds of homework. One of them is mechanical, and the other one could be a little bit thought-provoking, or a form of homework that you will need to think to be able to find the answer. You might not be able to just open up your book and find the answer directly. So which type of homework do you think I might be giving this term more of? We don't know, teacher. I said, okay, what I want for you is to brainstorm more, to create more. So we're definitely going to have mechanical homework in my class, but at the same time, I'm going to give you more of thought-provoking homework.
What are you doing there?
Homework and projects that you might need to brainstorm, sometimes even with teammates and sometimes in pairs, to be able to do and to be able to finish up. And they were kind of excited. So then I said, okay, this is my agenda. Now, what is your agenda? So by providing that example for them, they kind of had some idea into what I wanted them to do. Because in the beginning, if you just, throw the ball in their court and be like, okay, somebody might catch it, you will end up finding out that nobody is ever going to catch that ball. Don't be surprised if you enter a classroom full of students and ask the question what is your agenda, and then nobody answers your question. That is typical. And actually, I also told them the differences between agenda and a schedule. A schedule is something that you have it written down somewhere. It could also be included in your agenda, but agenda is actually something that you want to do. Not necessarily written down, not necessarily like every day at a certain time, certain hour. You don't exactly know if it's gonna take like half an hour, 1 hour, or maybe a week to finish it up, but you know that it's something that you want to do or you want to change in a period of time. So it's important that at first you just clarify it for them to understand the differences between a schedule and agenda. And another thing that at this point I will try to elicit from them is why they are particularly studying English. The students, especially at this age, they need to be reminded again and again why they are here and the real life-like situations that they are going to actually face, and they will need this particular knowledge that you're offering them. Those parts, those circumstances, those situations are going to be the ones that you want to remind them over and over. So at this point, this is what I will do. I will give them this example. Imagine as if, for example, Reza, in 10 years' time, he will be like a 24-year-old boy and he lives in Germany or in the US. He's got this American boss that he has to write a letter to in English or send an email to using formal English. And he's thinking, I don't know how to write it. Do you think at that point he will be thinking about why he got a 95 instead of 100 for his second semester's English exam? So usually at this point, I will be quiet. I will give them time to comprehend. Some of them will say yes, the obstinate ones, but the other ones might actually come around and start speaking about it for real. At this point, you want to make their anxiety of exams less and make them think about why in real life they might need the knowledge that you're offering them, like the skills, all those tools that you're giving them for a future event, for a future job, their career, I don't know, their university and stuff. When you give them that, and when you start discussing this with them one more time at the beginning of the new semester, then the new agenda that somehow you're going to elicit from your students will be to think about why they are learning what they're learning, which is, I think, at the school the most important step that I myself as a teacher need to take. There are other things that I've done recently and I have found great improvements in class with them, but I cannot share them in this video. I've already talked a lot, so wait for my next video. It's going to be uploaded soon. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like the video, and share it with other teachers that you think might need it. I love you, and bye-bye.